All right, everybody, welcome to another week of Indie Increase, where each week we review Steam store pages and provide advice and critiques for indie developers. I am Josh Blazer from Game Wisdom, and joining me from Nexus Games is Sharky. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, and I'm definitely excited for one game in particular on our list. The first one.
Yep. We have one game that was submitted from developer. I know they are watching this live, and the other one came from my list. And we are always looking for submissions for future shows. So please reach out if you'd like us to assist you with your store page.
Yep. So let's get down to it.
We are beginning with Koboo the Tree Spirit. And what we have here, it looks like it's an action roguelite platformer. Oh, let me exit that out there. There we go. So, as always, let us begin with the thumbnail.
So the thumbnail, the font is really readable. The tree spirit is harder to see, but it's not as important. So I think it's proper there. There's a little leaf or something at the end of the K. And the reason why I say or something is because it's not that readable.
Yeah, it's kind of like pulled into the orbit of the showing of that K.
I would either remove it or find another way to make it readable, one way or the other. You know, I definitely appreciate the extra attempt on style there, but it's not readable at this point. So it's not really readable. So like, I don't know what to suggest there, but I would do something with it. I would address it in some kind of way. Definitely go and get your feedback on that and whatnot and try to refine it. I think the character looks really good. I think the character is really, really solid. I think the light from the glowing on its hand definitely draws your eyes there.
And the orb that it's holding, too.
But the issue is there's not very much triangulation here. There's technically a little bit because you can kind of see the top 2 points of the character that kind of come over to the character and come back. There's just a slight triangulation there, but not really. It's more of a line here rather than a triangulation between the glowy bits. If you put some kind of glowy bit over here or something to draw your eye over here, something that brighter than this that contrast with this background over in here by the O kind of thing, it doesn't even have to be fully on screen. But if you put something here, that would more give you a triangle kind of thing. But
Yeah.
you ideally want something more contrasty down here too, because like I mean this hat on the character is pretty contrasty as well as the eyes and that,
Mhm.
but there's not much contrasty down here,
Yeah.
and you're just kind of looking down the character to try to get that. So ideally, I would put something more contrasty down here as well as something more contrasty over here, but especially over here. This is the most important one.
And for people watching on my side, which parts are you talking about?
The part of the by the O on the character,
Mhm.
on the
Yeah.
font, and down near the feet of the character.
Yeah. It's not a bad thumbnail. It just needs, I think, just a little bit more.
Yeah,
So, gray wise,
I'm thinking
hmm,
A minus.
I'm thinking in the B plus range.
All right. So let's move on to the trailer. Oops,
Get
mine's
this
starting
full
in the middle.
screen. We just have like an opening here.
Yeah,
Cute
there's
little
not a cold
fish.
opening here. It's just right into the start, and then you're going into the bosses. There's no like build up kind of thing. It's just here's quiet, here's loud kind of thing.
Yeah. It's very jerky to watch, like with like how the boss transitions are happening. Black screen for a few seconds, I think a little too long.
Yeah, and this here, I have no idea what this is.
I think she stabbed that guy.
Maybe I don't know.
Okay, and then we have very long hold on the title, which then goes to the wish list.
Yeah, I what I don't like about this call to action is I would have liked this this hold on the title to be faster, as well as I would like this to stay on screen once you build up to it, the title,
Mhm.
instead of fading off, and have that be on this screen. Have this background rather than have the title fade off, have the background fade in, and have the wish list now on Steam pop in or fade in or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, is this a boss rush game? Because it doesn't say it's a boss rush game, but it feels like a boss rush game from this trailer.
Yeah. And if it's not, then I think the trailer may need some work here.
Now the trailer definitely needs some work either way.
Yeah. Yeah, and I find the cuts like it's good that you zoomed in or you didn't just use raw footage for the gameplay trailer, but it's very disorienting to watch just because of how like jerky it is during the combat.
Yeah. Let's go into some deep, trailer analysis here. First off, there's no code opening. There needs to be something at the beginning that gets you to um get either hyped like a boss fight or something to make you laugh or something you've got to emotionally appeal to the character the character you got to emotionally appeal to the consumer in the first 5 seconds. There needs to be some
Yeah.
kind of cold opening that like gets you brings you in, and it's like you've got to finish watching this trailer. You've got
Yeah,
to
and I
convince them in
think
the first 5 seconds to keep on watching, and that's what a cold opening is.
yeah, and the 5 second more when he's like running towards the fox and he's hugging him and everyone's all happy. I think that would make for a far better cold opening than just him kind of parachuting down and walking to the right.
Better, but I think that would still be a bad code opening. I think this would be a I think what he's got here at the beginning with the flying in and the going and hugging the fox, I think this is a good I guess you'd call it the intro phase. So
Hmm.
you have your cold opening, you have your intro, you have your middle, and then you have your climax. And then you have your
Hmm.
call to action. And I think the from 0 seconds to like where is it? Uh, Around 9 seconds. I think that makes a good intro. But again, you need a code opening before that intro.
Mm,
But then there's no middle unless it's a boss rush, and
yeah.
it'd be very hard to have a middle.
I would also
Jerome
say
still
as
hasn't
kind of
said
like
if it's a boss rush or not.
for a game like this, like a good climax would be either them beating a boss and you're showing like the boss's death animation or something like that, or the boss killing the player and you're seeing the character's death animation. Like usually one of those two is a good climax for like an action heavy game.
Well, you need a climax that's a lot bigger in one scene though. But
Hmm.
I think this part starting at 9 seconds where they're showing several different bosses here is good for would be good for a climax. But it's kind of
Hmm.
long for a climax. And the if you look here at the let's see here, it'd be easier to play it. So if you look right here when you transition from one to another, right here at the 9-10 second mark, you see the character over here at like right at the end of this, and then you click over here, and your eye has to go from way over here to way over here because the player's eyes are going to track the character, and
Hmm.
it's very disorientating. You want to splice your footage in so that the character is in a reasonably close position to the
Hmm.
last one. It doesn't need to be in the exact same spot, but it needs to be within a reasonably close position so that your
Yeah,
your eyes can follow it. Because when you don't, you have the effect that Josh has of, what did you say?
like disorienting.
Yeah, very disorienting.
Hmm. Yeah, so in terms of the grade for this, like Shark said, beginning needs some work. It needs a decent amount of work.
It needs a cold
It
opening. It needs,
doesn't have a climax
well, it has a climax. It's just kind of, I
there,
don't know.
and then the end feels like a little disjointed between the title screen on the black page and then the wish list. Probably better to combine those two.
Yeah, and this part with the fade to black is just way too long. And
Yeah.
this, I have no idea what's going on here. This like 30-second point at the end, 36 second, 37, 38, 39, all those 30 high 30s, because there we never seen this character, and there we don't know this one. We don't know what happened there. I could make the assumption that this character is important and this character is important and this character
Mhm.
died. Maybe this character killed it. I don't know,
Yeah.
but that's the best assumption I can make. And let me tell you, the people who watch us are not going to be able to make nowhere near as good an assumption as I can.
Yeah.
So
So
and
grade
that mine is
wise.
probably wrong. So
Hmm. So grade wise, what are you thinking? Like, I don't know if it's in the. It's definitely on the B range.
yeah, it's not an A or a B for sure.
Do you think there's enough that you should bring it down into the D, or do you think maybe like low C, low to mid C?
I would say it's definitely in the D to C range.
Hmm.
Um, I am definitely leaning towards C minus.
Yeah, I feel like there's not enough bad to bring it down to a D, but yeah, I think C minus for me.
The structure is all over the place.
Yeah.
That's the main issue, I think,
Hmm.
and the cuts are all over the place too. Um,
Yeah.
Jerome, is this a boss rush game? Because like I don't see any killing of normal enemies in here, which would
Yeah,
make
and
it great for the middle if it has non-bosses.
or the strategy elements, and we'll talk more about that when we get to the about this game section.
Hmm.
All right.
But let's go on to
So
the thumbnails.
and I think every one of these, except for maybe one, was featured in the trailer.
Yeah,
Actually, let me see here.
if they aren't the same as in the trailer, they look close enough to be counted as that.
Yeah, like the one that was not in the trailer, I think was the sixth one, and that's just like a different version of what is
The
featured at the eighth, seventh, eighth second mark.
yeah. So no screenshots basically.
Yeah.
So that's a F minus. It is
Mm-hmm.
a bus rush. Okay.
Okay.
So then it's going to be very hard to have a middle section in there. You're going to have
Mhm.
to try to find something to make it in there because you don't want to go from intro to climax. You just,
Yeah.
that's really abrupt. You need some kind of middle ground in there, and it's going to be very, very hard on you to do that with a
Yeah.
boss rush type game. So,
We have an idea for that, but we'll talk about that when we get to the next section. But
mm,
yeah, like Shark said, no screenshots that are different from what's in the trailer. So yeah, this is an F minus for this.
yeah, there's no screenshots here.
All right, so let's go down to about this game. So we start with a custom banner, which is nice.
Hmm. We have a
Crew unique,
GIF that is of the same
very
boss.
and faster, I think.
Yeah, it looks like you put it on fast forward here, which, makes it very jarring.
Yeah, and it's starting to give me a little bit of a headache when I'm like staring at it for too long. So I'm gonna like scroll down.
And the fact is that it's the same boss, so like it's almost like there's no GIF there. It's just a
And
migraine.
yeah, and the text does not match what's going on. Where it
Yeah,
says recruit a unique combination of spirit animals, give you a fresh set of abilities. I see nothing of that.
yeah. We
And
we see
that
a boss.
the downtime or the planning of like how you set things up would be, I think, good for the middle of the trailer as well. Like give the player a little bit more meat as to what this game's going to be about before you hit them with the climax of fighting the bosses, dying, living, that kind of thing.
Unless you do that for your code opening.
Yeah. Friend, take care of plants. So this GIF is the same as the one that's in the trailer. And again, there's text here, take care of plants in the forest. I'm seeing nothing of that.
Well, this is giving you the befriending animals thing.
Yeah.
This one's
But
more
nothing
acceptable
about
because it's repeating, but it's actually going with this with the befriending
mm,
animals kind of thing. But I would make sure it was a different animal, not this
yeah.
same fish that's in the trailer.
Yeah.
It needs a shark right here. Jerome.
And the big problem with this page is that you're describing things that I am not seeing anywhere on this page. I have seen nothing about abilities, I've seen nothing about upgrades or persistent elements, and that is not good. So we go to master your skills, and this is again what Shark was saying in the trailer that you have the first part of the skit that shows the guy on the left, and then the second part shows him on the right. It's very disorienting.
Yeah, you're teleporting here.
What would probably be a little bit better
Is if
would
you
be
just
to
cut off
have the
that in
character.
part.
What was that?
If you just cut off that in part with the second boss
Yeah.
fight. Or if
Or
he, did a different fight where you kept him on the same side of
yeah,
the
like have him attacking on the left on a boss, and then do like a transition to another boss, but have him still on that side. So it
mhm.
looks like he's like, attacking into like multiple enemies.
Unless you see that character, from the first one cross to the other side. Either way,
Mm,
wherever the character is before you cut, when you cut in the next clip, it should have a character in a very close spot
yeah.
because otherwise it's just jarring.
So make sure
But
that
again,
time
these
frame.
are the same two bosses that we've already seen. So I mean, this is also sort of like a non-GIF. There's no GIF here
Mm-hmm.
kind of thing.
Yeah. My stream is live, right? Because I'm seeing like very little people on my side, right?
Yeah,
Hmm. Wonder where everyone
there's
is.
El Gordo.
All right.
And then you have Discover Secrets, which is again something right here from the trailer. And
Mhm.
I
This is
don't see
Koboo the tree
a
spirit.
I don't see a secret here. I don't see a
Yeah.
you know unless the secret's down the barrel of her gun, you know,
Or the
or
black screen.
yeah, or the black screen. And this
Yeah.
black screen is kind of jarring too.
Mm-hmm. Then we have open development. I like the Discord banner.
Well, you
You have a
can't.
link.
That's the thing about content is you don't want to stretch it. Not in a store
Oh,
page because you would rather have something shorter that isn't stretching it rather than
we're
having
competing with
more and
E3.
repeating.
That's why.
Huh?
We're competing with E3. That's why there aren't a lot of people watching this live.
All the people watching the road maps.
hmm Yeah.
But
So,
like the not having much content done yet, that's understandable, but you need to
mhm.
not gimp your store page because of that. Just make shorter stuff,
Yeah.
you don't have to show off as much, but in each thing, just make things shorter.
Yeah.
You don't.
And
It's better to have a short length than overextending yourself.
yeah. And again, like the big red flag for me for this whole page is that you're describing systems and elements that I am not seeing at all anywhere on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to have elements, outside of this boss combat and, fishing, I need to see that. You want the player to know that there is meat on the bones. I mean, you
Mm-hmm.
can type 5 paragraphs describing your game. That doesn't mean that stuff is in your game. We need to
Mm-hmm.
actually see it.
Yep. I do love the little custom Discord banner. I do like that you made this a link as well as provide a blue text link out here
Yeah.
because that
So,
makes very clear that even if they're not sure they can click on the banner, they know they can click on this.
yeah,
And like you could have done a custom banner here, but that would have ran into the same problem as this. So like I think the blue text is a perfect choice here. I think that
yeah.
is the perfect choice here.
hmm So, overall, mm,
I think this
the
is not going to be a good
structure,
grade, but I think that very little can be done to this to change this
it,
into a very good
yeah,
grade. And that
yeah.
would be changing out the GIFs to an appropriate GIF that matches what you're saying, as well as
hmm
does not, repeat what's exactly we've
Or
already
cause
seen.
eye strain when you're staring at it for too long.
Yeah. New GIFs,
Yeah.
and I think this would, that are proper would I think get this an A. But
hmm
the way it is right now, I am definitely not seeing an A. I'm not even seeing a B.
Yeah, I'm thinking C minus C for me.
Yeah, I'm thinking C minus. It's
Yeah.
those GIFs just really bring it down. I think you could have had no GIFs and gotten about the same grade.
hmm Yeah.
Just with the custom banners. I meant the custom banners and the custom Discord link. I mean,
hmm
and just delete all the banners and you could probably still get the same grade.
Yeah. And again, once you have something, again, I don't know where the game is in terms of development, but once you have kind of the persistent elements or supplemental systems in the game, I would want to see that in the trailer and the screenshots on this about this game page.
Mm,
Because there really isn't a lot here that you're showing the player.
yeah,
And that is not going to help sell this game.
exactly.
So let's go to the title card. We have 3 genre tags: action, adventure, indie, which is good. I would probably put single player in as well. Again,
Hmm.
you can't. like when it comes to genre tags, the more the better.
Yeah,
You want to see at least like what
three.
would you say, Shar? You think like three is the minimum
Three
for
is the
genre
minimum.
tags? Yeah,
4 is recommended. Anything above that is amazing, but not possible in all games.
yeah.
4 is not
So
possible in all games, but
at least
three
three.
three is the bare minimum, and
Hmm.
4 is recommended. And if you can do 5 that fit, then do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
If you can do 8
So
that fit, do it.
all right. So we have developer, publisher, franchise. We have a website. We have Twitter, which you have messages open. You have your YouTube channel. Like the only thing that I would add to this is that you have your Discord link all the way down here. It'll probably be good to put that in the title card as well.
Yeah, it would definitely be a good thing. I wouldn't
Hmm.
penalize you for it, but I'm not going to give you
It
bonus
would
points
add,
for it either
yeah.
because you don't have it in here, obviously.
Hmm. I
But
mean, title card is pretty much there. I mean,
yeah,
nothing hurts it. Only things we would really say would be just to add more to it, or
yeah,
literally just have one genre tag. So,
or more if you could.
yeah.
And if you added another genre tag or more, and you put your Discord in here, this would be an A plus.
Yeah. I'm thinking, what do you
I,
think?
I,
A minus?
yeah,
What?
I'm taking A minus right now.
Yeah.
So not much, and you can definitely up that to an A plus.
Hmm. So, the bad news is you got your highest grade on the lowest point or the less impactful point of the store page.
Yeah, the most of your grade comes from the trailer. The second most comes from your thumbnail.
Yeah.
Third comes from
So,
your screenshots.
and
Fourth,
Jerome said he was ready for the roasting, so I guess it's time for that.
what do you mean it's time for that? I mean, we've already started that.
Mhm. Well, it's time for the final cut then. So, thumbnail we gave that a B plus, I think,
Yeah,
or B plus A minus.
yeah, somewhere.
Trailer we gave that a C minus, and everything else kind of
This
went
the
down from there.
thumbnails were an F,
Yeah, and about this game was a
F minus.
C minus.
Yeah,
So, unfortunately, you are not going to be getting a B or even a B minus.
yeah.
I don't think there's enough wrong to take this down to a D. I'm thinking C minus C for the page overall. What about you?
Um, somewhere in that range. I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'd say
Not a.
I think I'd go C minus. I would have gone C or C
Mhm.
plus if it was not for the screenshots.
Yeah. Like, again, like this is an example of a page that has a lot of good elements to it, but the things that are distracting or detracting from it are really bringing the grade down.
Hmm. And like the aesthetics are on point, but we're not
Yeah.
grading on that. But like, I definitely like the aesthetics and everything.
Yeah. Again, uh we can't review store pages on gameplay. We can only review on what we're seeing.
Hmm.
Yeah, so trailer needs to be worked on. The about this game definitely needs to be worked on.
Yeah, you need to have this GIF down here. You need to have one with a shark here, where you're befriending the shark.
Yeah. Although would that be considered bribing one of the judges for the
Yeah,
show? Yeah, so definitely interested in this game as a fan of again, well, we an action based game, but one like here's a little bit of a bonus thing. The description from what you're saying feels kind of off. An action roguelike platform with strategy and RPG elements. I'm not really seeing the roguelite. I'm not really seeing the platformer. And I'm definitely not seeing the strategy and RPG elements.
and you said it was a boss rush, and I'm not there.
Yeah.
There's nothing about boss rush in here,
Yeah.
and there definitely needs to be something about boss rush in here if it is a boss rush.
Yeah.
There's also
Yeah, for
not very
people.
many these user defined tags, and you definitely need to add more of these.
Yeah.
There's probably a few hundred of these that you could add. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely
Yeah.
add away, you know.
If your game is a boss rush, you gotta mention it because I can use my psychic powers to predict that people in the forums are gonna be complaining saying this isn't an action game, it's a boss rush. Why is this not labeled a boss rush? All I'm doing is fighting bosses and so
Hmm.
on and so on.
Yeah, people will definitely complain about that.
Yeah, so you do want to mention that.
Hmm. And
Well,
I mean, like, I don't know the game, but these tags just don't seem to fit what you got. But you know what I'm
yeah.
seeing here. But
Hmm.
so maybe look into that. I don't know, but again, I haven't played it. I'm not developing it, that kind
Yeah.
of thing. I mean,
All
this
right.
part definitely seems to fit though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So with that, are you ready to move on to our next game?
Yes. Let's move
Okay.
on to Magnus Failure.
Yep, and this will probably be a shorter one. As short, not as short as the game, but I think pretty close.
It might be as short as the game.
Well, let's see. So, as always, that's sort of the thumbnail, and it really doesn't have a lot going for it. The title is readable. The mask is distinctive, but I don't think it's distinctive enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's technically in the game, but we'll see it later on. But it's just a little bitty small part of another mask that's on a character
Hmm.
that is
Mask on a
very
mask.
yeah, it's maskception, and it's not really noticeable. I mean, even when I was looking for it, I had a hard time trying to find it, kind of
Yeah,
thing. So like,
and
it's not really all that identifying with the game.
And when we show the trailer off in about like probably 30 seconds, it has a different styling for the kind of title card in the trailer that I think fits the game a little bit more,
Yeah,
but not by much. Like, there's
it,
nothing here that I think would warrant a second look from the consumer.
there's not really much of a triangulation here. I mean, there's a slight one with the blood going up and down kind of thing. You're kind of drawing this way,
Hmm.
and then there's a glowing over here, so you're kind of drawing over this way. So there's kind of a triangle there, but not really.
Yeah,
You
it's.
know, it's far less of a triangle than what Jerome's game had,
Hmm.
but it's still it. You know, Jerome's game didn't have much of a triangle to begin with either, but this one has even less.
And there's no art that's really grabbing your eye in this.
Yeah, and there's so much blank space back here.
And especially behind the nuss and the lure of Magnus Failure.
Yeah, the
And you have
Nustler is that the next game? Nustler,
yeah,
Nustler.
I mean you have all these like distinctive imageries that you show off in the trailer and the images that would probably be good for like background on this. Not too much because it may overwhelm it, but it needs more.
So, what do you think I'm for grade on this one?
Thinking maybe thinking in the D range. I'm just not sure where.
Yeah, I'm thinking D or D plus. I think
Yeah.
because it's readable, but it's not. Doesn't stand out. It doesn't do anything. I think I give it a. Actually, I might give it a D minus.
I think I'll give it a solid D, at least for me, because it's at least readable. But
Yeah,
that is
I think I'll go with
it.
a D.
Okay, so ready for the trailer?
Yeah, let's go with the trailer. And we're starting with two different intro things, banners,
Yeah,
developer names, which is bad. I have no idea what that person said on the radio.
yeah. The text transition is nice,
Yeah.
but it's it's kind of a little jarring. So, music is not matching the trailer.
No,
Or
not at
music,
all.
yeah, music not matching the footage. Lots of running around.
Yeah, so you're running, you're running,
The whole
very slow.
PC mobile thing in the upper right is not what you want on a trailer.
Yeah, the running parts are just so boring.
Mhm. Still more running.
Hey, guess what? This game has a functional WASD. WASD. You know, don't you want to buy it? Did you see all those sketches that,
Yeah,
as far as I know, aren't part of the game?
they're part of the intro.
Yeah.
Still running.
Enter with this now. Magnus Failure.
And you can see we have like a different style for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this trailer is not helping this game.
Yeah.
It's
Um.
too long.
Oh, it felt like a freaking hour.
There's no real, like, it just feels like raw footage taken from playing the game.
Yeah. Most of it being running
Yeah.
very slowly,
Hmm.
might I add. You like I
Hmm.
don't think there's anything good about this trailer.
Other than the text transitions, maybe.
Yeah, besides the text transitions, I don't think there's anything good with this trailer. Is it all bad? Not really, but
It's
nothing's
not
good. There's definitely
selling this game.
nothing good here. There's nothing here that makes me want to play this game. There's nothing
Yeah.
here that makes me want to watch the whole trailer. Other than
Hmm.
it's you know my job here to watch it all because
Yeah.
that was what a minute and a half. Yeah, a
Yeah. Like,
minute 29. And
and
you know
probably
how long
most of
it
it was
felt? How long
walking
did it feel to you?
for like 2 to 3 minutes.
Felt like 5 or 10 to me.
Eh.
It was oh
Like this feels more like it should be like a 30-second trailer at most.
yeah, or 15-second trailer like that. That was way too long.
Hmm.
So what are we going to give this one for a grade?
Mm.
I think this is in the F range.
Yeah, I'm just not sure where. You think
I don't
solid
think
F,
this
F
qualifies
plus?
for an F plus.
Mm. I don't think it's an F minus. I think F for me.
Yeah, I think I'd go solid F.
Yeah, it needs to be reworked. It needs, better footage. Which
And
again, unfortunately, we played the game and there's not a lot.
yeah, there's not much of a game here at all, and that's part of the issue.
Hmm.
Because you beat it in what 40 minutes, and most of that time was you fighting with the UI and you thinking on puzzles kind of thing. So like, I mean,
Yeah.
there was what 3 puzzles in the entire game, 4.
Hmm. I think
I
this
mean,
feels like one of those games where a cinematic trailer would probably be better, like using like the sketches and that kind of art. But even then, that would be misleading because then someone's going to play the game and realize, wait, all that was just concept, or all that was just cutscene.
yeah, like I mean, like you know, the game feels more like a tech demo or
A micro
a
game.
loot 'em dare game and not a full release game. And that's the
Mm,
reason why you're going to have problems making a trailer out of it.
yep.
Period.
So, let's go to the screenshots, and I'm fairly sure all these were in the trailer, maybe except for like some of the final one.
Yeah, I think they all were in the trailer. If not, they're close enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to say no screenshots here.
Yeah.
So F
Maybe one
minus.
or two. Yeah, but still, you need at least five original screenshots as a
Hmm.
bare minimum.
The fact that the trailer was 10 minutes long and the game's only like 5 minutes long. I mean, there's like the whole game's in there twice. You
Mm.
know,
Yeah, I'll give it I think a solid F for me as well.
and you're not going to
But
give it a F minus
mm,
because I didn't see anything that was different enough to be considered a screenshot
mm.
from
I
the
think the
trailer.
only one is like the little art, like the character in like a diving suit, may have not been in there. But
Um, but that's just concept
yeah,
art and not, and I think it was might have been in there. Either way,
yeah,
moving on to about this game page.
yep. And there really isn't anything here for the about this game.
Nope,
We have no screenshots, no GIFs, no banners.
no blue text
Just yep, no, just three paragraphs.
that are all jumbled up together in very long paragraphs.
Mm,
This last paragraph is the best paragraph because it's shorter. The normal
yeah,
length paragraph, where this is just a run on paragraph, that's a run on paragraph.
hmm
This is like
yeah,
two paragraphs smushed together, and so is this one.
and this is what you don't want for your about this game page.
Yeah. So what do you think about this one? F
Easy F
minus,
minus.
F
Yeah,
minus,
yeah.
F
This is
minus.
not nothing that we add points for about this game page is on this page.
Yeah. I think they could have had literally nothing on here. I think they could have had "It's a Game" on here, and I think,
Just like
uh,
five bullet points will probably be at least an F.
oh yeah, yeah. If they had two bullet points, that would be a lot better
hmm
than this. This is
Yeah.
a glob of unmeaning text.
hmm So
All
let's
right.
go to the title card. We have three genre tags, which is good. I think other than maybe adding like single player in,
Yeah.
eh, but there really isn't much else you could I think include here. Now the weird thing is, it has two publishers, but both publisher pages link to the same exact games.
Well,
The,
that's
the same.
because um, new Golden Egg Studio is the only one that actually has a publisher page. The Glob Game Studio doesn't have a publisher page, so
Mhm.
there's just nothing to display on there. And I'm pretty sure Sons of Welder doesn't have a thing either. Yeah, if you click on Sons of Welder, it goes to Golden Egg too.
Yeah,
Steam says if there's only one page, all links will go to it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And the only one
and
that has a page is the Golden Egg Studio. So the Glob
mhm.
Game Studio, the Golden Egg, and Sons of Welder all go to the Golden Egg one because they're the only ones that have a page. They have a
Yep.
website, but they have nothing else. And that website, what did that website go to? It goes to the publisher, which is not a very good looking website. And
No.
a lot of red flags are drawn up when you look through this
Yep.
publisher's
And there's
website.
no contact information, no social media. So the only thing this has going for are the three genre tags.
Hmm.
So basically, this is half a title card.
Yeah.
So what do you think? D plus C minus?
I think I'd go D plus because there's not a fourth tag, there's not a fifth tag,
Mhm.
there's just three
No
tags.
contact information.
It's the bare minimum with a
Yeah.
website. The bare minimum tags with a website,
All
and
right.
a very
So,
sketchy looking one at that.
hmm so D plus.
I
Yeah,
might
I'll
even
give it
go a
a.
solid D even
Mm, I think
because
I'll
it's
stick
not
with
like
D.
casual or indie are really really defining tags.
Mm, eh, I'll stick with a D plus because at least they have the three. And for a game like this, it'll probably be hard to find tags. But yeah. So overall, not going to be a high grade for this one.
Nope. They
we have two we have two F range here.
I think the best thing on their thing was the thumbnail.
Hmm. And will we give that a D or a D plus?
Yeah, I think we gave it a D or D. I think we gave it a D.
Yeah.
Luckily for them, that's one of the most important things. Second most important being the trailer.
And then we give that like an F plus D minus.
I think I gave it a F, just a
Yeah.
solid F.
Yeah. So overall, I feel like this game. I think this is just an F store page. What about you?
Yeah, I think whatever they gain from getting people to click on the game from the thumbnail, they're going to lose them the second they see the trailer. I so I and the trailer has far more weight than the thumbnail does, which has more weight than anything else does. But everything else is dragging. This is a F, but this is a F minus. This might pull the trailer up a little bit, just a hair. This is a F minus, so that pulls it down. This is,
Yeah.
you know, a pretty much null grade, but it might pull it up just a hair.
And the
But
about
like,
this game page is nothing.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I think this page is a solid F.
Yeah. We've seen worse,
Hmm.
but
But not much worse.
yeah, this is going to need a lot of work to get people excited about this game.
Yeah, I think the game's going to need a lot of work for people to be excited about the game once they get into it because it's only a 40-minute game, and it's only 40 minutes because the puzzles, you know,
Yeah.
if you went back and replayed it right now, knowing the answer to the puzzles, or having answered them one time, you could probably
Mhm.
beat the entire game in probably less than 5 minutes.
Maybe.
You know,
You still have to spend like 5 minutes walking from one side to the other.
yeah, and 5 minutes refiguring out the puzzles. Now that you know kind of basically how they sort of work, but you just have to actually implement the answers kind of thing. And it's so clumsy with the UI and everything that's it might take you 10 minutes because of the UI
Yeah.
UX design. But I,
Hmm.
I think I think the game needs a lot of work. I think the store page needs a lot of work. I think there needs to be a lot of work.
Yeah.
And the problem
It's due
is
out in a month.
2 weeks.
Yeah.
There's not enough time to do all that work.
Oh.
There are so many red flags on this. Not
Hmm.
funny.
Yep. All right. But I think with that, we will wrap things up for this week. So, Jerome, thank you so much for submitting the game. Hopefully, we gave you some helpful advice.
Yeah, I was honestly expecting to have Jerome's game have a better grade than that, but I didn't look at it very closely, obviously.
Hmm. All right. But if you would like us to look at your store page for a future show, we are always accepting submissions. We have one for next week already. If you'd like to watch these shows live, we tape them Thursdays, starting around 3:30 ET. And if you're interested in learning more about game design and industry topics, tune in for the Safely Extremecast Sundays, starting around 4:30 on our respective channels.
And make sure to lick the smash the like button on both of our channels, and go down to the description, and all the links to all our social media are down there.
Hmm. Yep. And I think with that, we are done. So, as always, thank you for tuning in. Come back for daily discussions on game design here and on game wisdom, worries in the art and science of games. Until next time, take care.
You were supposed to be the chosen one, Jerome. See ya.